In this video, I'm going to be covering everything related to our trading view charts. So this is what our trading view chart looks like. And we have a total of 6 indicators on the chart. You've got Genie, Master Signals, MACD, RSI, Thigh Gap, and SAR candles. The reason why the 6 is important is because you have 2 trading view subscriptions to choose from. You've got Pro and Pro Plus. So Pro has a maximum of 5 indicators per chart versus Pro Plus has a maximum of 10. If you're able to afford Pro Plus, then you can go with Pro Plus. But if you want to save a bit of money and go with Pro, it's understandable. Go with Pro, but just know that you'll need to get rid of one of the indicators. So if you do happen to go with Pro, you can get rid of SAR candles. SAR candles is an optional indicator to give you that extra layer of confirmation and confidence. But just know that if you remove it, it's okay, because all of the logic for SAR candles is built into our Master Signals indicator, which I will get into a little bit later. But just know that this is an optional indicator and you can remove it if you choose to go with the Pro plan. Other than that plan, you're going to need one other thing, which is market data. So I'm just going to click on this Explore Available Markets. We need market data so that we can see our charts in real time. So you're going to need NASDAQ, you're going to need NYSE, and you're going to need ARCA. You need these 3 subscriptions in addition to the Pro plan. Otherwise, you'll get delayed data and you'll be late to the moves. And it will also change what the charts look like. So it's important to grab those 3. Once you're done with that, head on over to Platform. Our platform is our website called cloud.trade1348.com, and in here, head on over to the settings. Right, so in settings, the next thing we're going to do is connect TradingView with platform. So in order to do that, you need the TradingView username. Now, why do you need to do this? This is so that you can get access to the indicators. Otherwise, you're going to see this. You're going to see an error on your indicators because you need access to them. So let's connect TradingView to platform. You need your TradingView username minus Hypnotic Shark. You're going to grab your TradingView username, you're going to go over to platform, and then you're going to type it out here and then click on connect. This is going to say username confirmed if you've done it right, and then click on OK. Next up, go to the trade1348.com website. So let's go to trade1348.com, and in here I'm going to click on free chart. We're going to add another link here that's going to take you to the documentation site, but click on free chart, which will open up this page. Here I'm going to click on official trade 1348 chart, and then I'm going to click on copy chart, which will open up this page with the chart. And if you've successfully connected TradingView to platform, you should see exactly what I'm seeing here. And now we are going to copy the charts by clicking on this button, which will make a copy. Click on save, and this will be saved to your TradingView profile. Now you're able to use this chart with any ticker that TradingView supports. So I can click on this and I can type NVIDIA and use the same chart with NVIDIA. Right? Just know that this chart works on all tickers. It works on all time frames. Okay. So now that you've done that, you're going to take a look at each of these TradingView indicators and what they are. So the first indicator here is Genie. Genie is this box over here, and it's got information about how to interpret each of these indicators, and it also plots the support and resistance levels. So if I just hide the Genie, you can see exactly what it's doing. And if you're using our charts on a mobile phone, this panel is probably going to get in your way because it's too large. So there are a bunch of customization options available to you inside of Genie. So click on the settings, and in here, if you're on mobile, you can switch this Genie device preset over to mobile, which will give you a much more compact version of it, which might be better suited for your phone. Just give it a few seconds, and there you go. Right? Now, this might be too wide for your phone, and so you might have to customize what you can see on the Genie. And if you scroll down here, there are checkboxes for each of these entries in the Genie, and you can turn off things that you aren't interested in. So if you're not interested in the EMA trend and the 200 bias and all of these, just turn them off and the Genie will update. Right, so you can keep what you want and you can use it on your phone that way. If you wanted to customize Genie even further, you can click on custom, which will give you access to these three settings down here. If you have it set to desktop or mobile, these settings won't work, but if you have it set to custom, then you can use these three settings here. Now with it set to custom, I can move the Genie around. I can move it to the top left of the screen if I wanted it there. I can move it to the top right. I can position it wherever I like. Right, so let's put it on the top right. I can also change the size of it. If you want it to be larger, you can increase the size. If you want it to be smaller, you can decrease it. You can also make it horizontal if you want to customize, let's say, the mobile version of it, right? That's how you customize the Genie. I'm just going to set it to mobile because that's what I like using. Okay. After that, we've got the master signals indicator. The master signals indicator plots all of these EMAs for you, and it gives you your entry signals. It also gives you these two lines, and I'll cover what that is. So I'm just going to hide the master signals indicator, and you'll see a lot changes on the chart, right? You'll see that the candle colors change. You'll get all of these signals and all of these lines, right? So let's get into what each of those are. So first, let's cover these two lines. This is the pre-market and the day high and the day low. It takes into account the pre-market price action. So this is just the highest point price action has reached during the day, and this is just the lowest point price action has reached during the day. That's all those two lines are. Next, we've got the EMAs. So here you've got your 48 EMA, which is in red. You've got your gray, which is the 24 EMA, and the blue is the 13 EMA. The yellow is your 200 EMA. After that, we've got a couple of entry signals on the chart. So you'll see this call signal, the C, and you'll see this piece signal, which is the put, right? This happens when the 13 period moving average crosses the 48 period moving average. So if it crosses below, you'll get a put. If it crosses above, you'll get a call. The other entry signal is traffic lights. So that's this yellow dot here. And if the traffic lights are signaling bullish, you'll see green dots, and if it's signaling bearish, you'll see these red dots, right? So this is your traffic light signal. And the third entry signal is Invictus Helper, which are these dots you see on the 200 EMA. Right, there are the green dots over here, and there are the red dots over here. What these try to do is they try to predict that a call or a put signal might happen in the future, right? So let's say you got these green dots here indicating that, hey, like price action might be moving up, and so it got you on this call sooner. It's important to know to not blindly use these indicators. You need to make sure all of them are in agreement before taking one of these signals. But that's what those are. Next up is the candle coloring. So when all of the indicators are saying bearish, the candles are going to be red. When all of the indicators are saying bullish, the candles are going to be in green. When one of the indicators are in disagreement with the others, you're going to get a gray candle or indecision. So this is a gray candle here. One of the indicators went against you, which is the MACD in this case. You can see that it was losing its bearish momentum versus the rest of it is still saying it's bearish. So you're going to get a gray candle here, right? It's really as simple as that. So bullish is green, bearish is red, and disagreement is gray. That covers the master signals indicator for the most part. There are a couple of other extra handy things in here, which are these white borders, which indicate choppy price action. This is when the EMAs get really close to each other and price action starts chopping around. Those white borders can keep you out of place. So let's take a look at the customization settings in here. Just like the Genie, you've got many customization settings. You can enable or disable these confluence candles in here. Right, so if you wanted to see the real candles, you can do that. I recommend keeping confluence candles on because we are trying to play momentum and not price action. And you can change the size of the traffic lights, you can change the colors of things, and Yeah, you can just change how what the chart looks like, and you can enable and disable all of the features that we spoke about. The next indicator I'm going to cover is thigh gap. I'm not really going to be covering the MACD and RSI. We have learning videos on that, but you know what, let's briefly touch on it. So the RSI, we consider it to be bullish if it's above its moving average, that's why it's green, and if it's below its moving average, we consider it to be bearish, that's why this is red. If it's overbought, it's going to be orange. If it's oversold, it's also going to be orange. The MACD is self-explanatory. We use a much longer period for the MACD. I'm not going to go over the settings, but if you're curious, you can click on this and you can take a look at it over here. But when MACD is printing red, that means it's bearish. When it's printing green, it's bullish. When it's light red, it means it's weak bearish, and when it's light green, it means it's weak bullish. The thigh gap is very similar to the MACD. When thigh gap is printing dark blue, it is bullish. When it's printing light blue, it's losing that bullish momentum. When it's printing dark orange, it is bearish. When it is light orange, it's losing that bearish momentum. And you can see exactly that, right? So it started losing its bullish momentum somewhere here, and you can see bearish price action until this thing turned light orange and it gained some of the bullish momentum back. Right, that's how you read thigh gap. And the neutral line will actually indicate a put signal, right? So when thigh gap crosses neutral line, you're going to get a call or a put signal by default. So here thigh gap is crossing neutral, so you're getting a put signal. Again, thigh gap crossed neutral, it went from orange to blue, you got a call signal. Now there's a setting on the thigh gap which lets you play long term or short term. So if you have it set to long term, you will get a call or a put signal anytime thigh gap crosses neutral. You have it set to short term, you will get a traffic light anytime thigh gap changes color from orange to blue or crosses neutral, essentially, right? So it went from blue to orange, you got a traffic signal. It went from orange to blue, you got another traffic light signal. Same thing over here, it went from orange to blue, you got a traffic light signal. Now if you're changing this to be long term or short term, just know that you need to change it in 3 places. So this is the first place, master signals is the second place, and Genie is the third place. And the reason for that is you want to read all the indicators the same way, right? And we need to make sure it's in agreement with your trading plan. So if you have it set long term here, you want all of these to say long term, otherwise the indicators won't make sense to you, right? You might ask, where is the thigh gap using the Genie? Well, you can see it right here, right? It's going to tell you what it means. So we've got an entry in the Genie for all of these indicators here. Let me just switch back to the desktop mode so you can see this a bit better. Right, so right now RSI is above its moving average, it's bullish. MACD is weak bearish, right? Thigh gap is weak bearish, and that's pretty much it, right? So the SAR candles is the last indicator I'm going to cover. It is a really simple indicator. So when SAR is red, that means you're bearish. When SAR is green, that means you're bullish. The SAR candles has an extra thing in it, which are these white and gray candles. So these are Heikin-Ashi candles, and you've got regular candles over here. Some members of our community like using Heikin-Ashi candles, but using Heikin-Ashi candles with TradingView throws off some of the indicators, so we tend to not use them. You're going to use regular candles. And if you want to refer Heikin-Ashi candles, you can take a look at this. So I mentioned the logic for SAR candles is built into our master signals. And what does that mean, right? So we like to use the SAR candles with a bit of leniency, just because it can be a trend for a really long time. And that leniency comes in with the Heikin-Ashi colors. So you can kind of use it up to your discretion, right? So if Heikin-Ashi is saying bullish, that means the SAR can change in the future, right? So if all the indicators are saying bullish, along with this, then there's a chance that price action's bullish. So we are getting these green candles. So when these candles are green, that means all the indicators are saying bullish. When these candles are red, that means all the indicators are saying bearish. So you can see how all of this logic is just built into the candle coloring. And that's it for this video. That I hope that covers everything related to our charts. Thanks.